Welcome to How to Find More Direct Clients Than You Can Poke a Stick At podcast, a mix of both solo episodes and expert interviews. Our ideal listener is an early career, ambitious, and passionate online language services provider. She is committed to professional growth and achieving success in the fiercely competitive translation and interpreting industry. She balances multiple responsibilities with resourcefulness, values mentorship, is open to learning, and investing in her professional development journey. She embraces technology and seeks to optimize workflow, eager to connect with like-minded peers and build out her professional network. She is determined to overcome challenges and become a sought-after freelance translator. And here's your host, medical translator and translator business mentor, Jason Willis-Lee.
And welcome to How to Find More Direct Clients, a podcast hosted by myself, Jason Willis-Lee. This is the show that makes digital marketing easier and more fun using the perfect combo and just the right dose of business strategy and tech. I'm your host, Jason Willis-Lee. I'm a digital marketing enthusiast, and today I'm very thrilled to welcome an award-winning author and entrepreneur. His name is Al Kushner. Al, welcome to the show. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, just to break the ice, and bit about your journey, your business journey, and your vision about your industry?
Well, sure. Well, I wrote my book, The AI LinkedIn Advantage, to educate your listeners on how to use AI effectively so they can actually level the playing field and basically dominate the competition. That's really what it's all about. So if you're looking for resources, you're looking for tools and techniques to save you time, this is definitely a great resource to check out. So happy to be here.
Okay, thank you. I mean, let's get into that. I mean, how do you advocate in your book using AI to enhance what would be good for freelance translators, so workflows? So I'm looking for actionable ways that I, as a translator, and I still translate less these days because a lot of it has been automated. How can we leverage AI, Al, to increase our efficiency, maintain our quality, and stay relevant and competitive?
Well, the most important thing is to kind of get your house in order. You got to optimize your profile. That's really key right there. Because remember, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. And that's really going to make a difference when you are doing any type of outreach. You're going to have people looking at your profile. And, if you don't grab their attention, you're really just they're going to move on. So you really going to need to focus on, getting a great headshot, have a great background image, to kind of convey the message you're trying to showcase. Look at, the information you're providing as far as your about section. Focus on other things like accomplishments that you have, awards given, any volunteer work that you've done as well. This is all crucial for you to getting the interest and the respect of those who want to connect with you.
How can we win direct clients via LinkedIn? Al, could you give us some proven, sort of tried and tested strategies, maybe strategies you've applied with your clients to create that strong profile you're talking about, build meaningful connections, and attract very high value direct clients? My market is a little dichotomous in that we tend to start with agencies, and then as we move up the food ladder, we get to pitch to direct clients, and they can be higher fees, but they're also more demanding. They might ask for extra services. They might ask for DTP, copy editing, other things. How can you give us a strategy, or just share an anecdote from one of your clients, maybe a case study of someone going from current reality to can you give us a positive transformation to a desired reality, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Well, I had a client who reached out to me to do some LinkedIn strategy, and we looked at ways to have this individual become a thought leader, and that was something that they were really lacking. And we used techniques with AI to help create content to really educate, and we developed a newsletter that we use on LinkedIn to send out to followers. And as a result, he's increased his following on the newsletter by over 300 followers within a few days. And what's interesting about newsletters on LinkedIn is that not only does it get posted or people alerted, whoever following that individual posting a newsletter, but in their emails, they also receive directly in the email boxes as well, which a lot of times bypass spam filters. So if you want to get great reach, because LinkedIn has such a high authority and respect, that for the most part, spam filters usually just let them through, which is really important because that's a challenge nowadays if you want to connect with your clients and reach out. A lot of times it may end up in spam or junk folders, and that's not a good, effective means of connecting. So the newsletters really was a game changer for this individual.
I saw your newsletter. It's called Growth Hacks for CFPs, Certified Financial Planners. I think that stands for. So, um, what can what can we as freelance translators? I'm guessing you have a lot of clients who are CFPs. Is that strategy directly applicable to freelance translators? Can we just sort of plug and play that?
Well, yeah, well, actually, I have five newsletters. That's just one of the newsletters that I use.
Oh wow.
You know, work with other individuals such as accountants, attorneys, work with insurance agents. So I have newsletters really for niche areas. So if your clients are looking to develop a niche newsletter, that's really a good thing because it's not one newsletter, one size fits all, and that's really not ideal. So if you have clients who are going for entrepreneurs or other clients are going for, I don't know, book authors, you can create newsletters for those individuals and create content that's going to appeal to them. Talk about the pain points that they're having and provide solutions that they look forward to each week to receive. That's something that's going to set you apart from the competition right there.
Let's talk about breaking free from agency dependence, Al. So, as I said, most translators at the beginning of early career translators would start off with agencies, middlemen, which is a nice way to start. You'd get the client capture done for you. They deserve a fee, obviously, for that client capture. But do you have a roadmap that you apply that you apply to your clients to shift from agency reliance to building a sustainable direct client base? Can we just talk about that for a minute or two?
Yeah, sure. So you want to focus in on who your end client is, and not deal with the agency altogether. So you're going to find out where they're at, and a lot of times they're on LinkedIn, so you want to be able to find out when they're on LinkedIn and when they're active on LinkedIn, and also when they post to reply to them as well. And that's something that you can use in some of the advanced features on LinkedIn called Sales Navigator. It's a paid premium option available. And with that tool, you can actually know exactly when these individuals are active on LinkedIn. Also, if they looked at your profile as well, you'll be alerted to that. A lot of great features. And you can narrow in on specific individuals using Navigator based on geography, based on their title position. So, and there's no reason why you can't reach out to them or at least follow them. And then whenever they do a post, reply to that post in a way that would be receptive to them. So you get on their radar. That's just a few things I want to share right off the top.
Right, engaging with the potential with the prospects content, commenting, and that's a great strategy. Yeah, I mean, do you use LinkedIn automation at all? Can you tell the audience a little bit about how we might reach higher numbers of prospects using automated tools? Is LinkedIn good for that, or is that possible?
Well, when it comes to automation, LinkedIn doesn't like that at all, period. And if you are using that tool, you may
Can I
find
ask
that
you why? Why doesn't LinkedIn like it?
It's just a policy that they have. They want actual people to post on LinkedIn. For example, you want to hire a VA to do your posting for you.
Hmm.
Well, that's going to be a challenge because LinkedIn doesn't like that. If you do it for your, let's say you have a business page, that's fine. But for your own individual postings, they frown against that. And if they find it out, and they can do that pretty easily by using, their technology to find out where the VA is located, they'll notify your account saying that you are in violation, and you can get pretty much severely limited
Hmm.
or even restricted as your account. So automation is a no-no when it comes to LinkedIn.
Why is LinkedIn advertising so much more expensive than Facebook and Instagram? It seems that it's a very premium advertising tool. I mean, I haven't placed an ad on LinkedIn, but I've considered it. Why is that? Do you have any idea of why it is such a premium on that?
Well, I mean, Microsoft, which is the owner of LinkedIn, can pretty much decide as far as their pricing schedule is. I think the fact is that with over 900 million people on LinkedIn, they have a pretty robust range of connections, and it's different than Facebook because with LinkedIn, a lot of people are business to business for the most part, And those who are trying to reach that type of target audience, you're going to find more reception that way. So that's why perhaps they are charging more because of the quality of the connections that you're getting on LinkedIn compared to other platforms.
I read a stat somewhere that there, as you said, there are 1 billion people using LinkedIn, but only 1% of that number are posting content. I mean, is that something that sounds crazy because if there's 1 billion people, that's 12.5% of the world population. So we should all be posting on LinkedIn, I think. Let's go back to AI, Al. What other strategies in your book? Could you just give us snippets from your book? We'll obviously get a link out to your book. I definitely want to read it after I read the description. What other strategies do you recommend we leverage to get productive around content creation, workflows in general? Any tools you recommend or workflows?
Well, Well, some of the techniques I always recommend is to join groups on LinkedIn because there are a lot of groups that are available, sometimes with thousands of individuals part of the group. And if you get accepted into the group, there's an opportunity that you can post into that group, which is great. And LinkedIn, if you use AI technology, you can help create content for those who are in the group to educate them on topics of relevance. So for your listeners, want to educate on the value of translators or other things. That could be groups on, let's say, authors, for example. You can join that group and be able to contribute to the conversation. So that's a great way to get on people's radar, I would say, by creating content for that.
How do you think AI has shifted the dichotomy between agencies and direct client? Maybe it's a redundant question, but do you think AI has had an impact on that debate, sort of, working this sort of binary market of agencies and direct clients that prevails in my industry and maybe yours as well? Has AI impacted that at all, do you think?
Well, I think it's much more easier for those who are trying to reach out directly to the clients to create, an email that would appeal to the target audience. AI can create various forms of content to do outreach. I think that a lot of people are relying on a lot of the agencies. For example, when it came to, publishing my book, I had options available to go with big name publishers and such, but I said, why do I need these individuals? Cut out the middleman, go
Mm,
directly. And that's what I did, and was something that, I get more of the share of the royalties itself. And I think if your followers want to get a more lion's share of the money they receive, there's no reason why they cannot go directly to their target audience. By using LinkedIn, you can find these individuals
mm,
and give them a reason to connect with you. And the reason is become a thought leader. And if you want to become even better, write a book. You want to
yeah,
stand out. That's how you're going to become an expert, is just have something that you can showcase. So if your
yeah,
clients are really want to make a difference, well, guess what? That's really the ultimate thing to do. Or of course,
100%.
create a podcast. Other things that are make you a thought leader. So these are ways you can do that with AI.
I absolutely agree that the most important book is not the one you read, it's the one that you write. Last year, I self-published a book on how to find more direct clients for my audience. I'm now looking at something else and another niche. I've just come back, Al, from Newcastle, England, where I was attending a marketing conference, probably the biggest in the country, called Atomicon. And there was a very good generative AI session. And I was just wondering if you had a position on, I don't know, customizable GPT and freer tools like Claude or Perplexity. Would you Do you have a sort of position on whether free Claude is better than customizable GPT or vice versa? Is GPT, is it worth forking out the $20 a month for OpenAI, or could we get by with a free Claude or a free Perplexity? Or Copilot was got a very bad reception in the room. I think Copilot was down towards the bottom. But
Right.
I've used a couple of these tools, and I'm still trying to work out if they're worth. I did customize a GPT for a niche I'm looking at for linguistic validation, which is a niche of medical translation, which I work in. I was just wondering if you had a an opinion on that, and have you touched upon these tools in your book?
Well, the key thing is to create prompts that you want. And if the tools can help you do that, that will save you a lot of time as well as, provide, more, you know, uh, direct response to your whoever you want to send that to. So if you have a way to use, let's say, ChatGPT to create prompts for your target audience, that's certainly going to give you an advantage on that. As far as paid features, yes, there are, it's worth trying out paid features because when you do free, a lot of times you don't get the support you're looking for
Right.
and or lack the features that you really want. So it's really good to shell out, at least for the month itself, to try it out and see if you're getting don't put a whole year's commitment just because you're going to save $20. You're better off using something that is going to be worthwhile for you. And therefore, if it does, then you can always upgrade. And that's always a good thing to have, to test the waters, I would say.
Great ideas. Al, let's go into the final five, just these quick fire questions we ask all our audiences. So just to give me I haven't given Al these questions before. He's on the fly, he's on the spot here. Just give me the
Mhm.
first word which kind of pops in your head. Using just one word, how would you describe AI? What's the first word that pops into your head?
Um, the future. You know.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. What's the best business advice you've ever received or maybe given to someone else? Maybe a mentee, someone you've mentored or
Oh, make your car a university on wheels.
make your
Listen.
car a university on wheels. I like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
listen to audiobooks. If you're driving, okay, don't listen to music, okay? Listen to things that are going to educate and enrich you. That's what you should do. And that's what I do all the time. And that's
I
something
like
that
that.
makes
Which podcasts do you listen to for business and finance? Can you recommend a
um,
podcast?
there's so many to look at. I really, to be honest with you, I can't really say. I think a lot of them are related to AI technology or LinkedIn,
Hmm.
things that's going to help me improve myself,
In
and
your particular niche. Sure.
yeah.
What's the last book you read, Al? What's the last book you read completely through?
Um, I would have to say Brian Tracy's books have been really good. I mean, it's positive reinforcement, and that's something I always kind of turn to when I'm feeling, that I'm in a rut, and he really inspires me and such. So I look for motivational speakers. Brian
Hmm.
Tracy was one, and a few others off the top, just thinking. But Zig Ziglar is another one. These are all great, communicators that really inspired me when I grew up. So I really turn to them when I need to.
I also like Zig Ziglar. Yeah, very father of sales and marketing, I would say. We all follow after him. What's one you would mention motivation and the personal development space? What's one motivational tip you abide by daily? How do you get yourself in gear and just working day to day, keeping that momentum?
I just keep moving. It's something that I always try to. I think I get my best thoughts is when I'm on the treadmill, if you believe that, exercising. And my mind just goes in other directions, and I really start thinking of things I never thought before. When I'm on an hour on a treadmill, just walking, it really just like, and I listen to podcasts and audiobooks, and that just really kind of mellows me out. And then, I take notes as I couldn't believe these things I'm thinking about while I'm doing this. Where in other areas I have so many distractions over there, I don't get distractions. So I'm able to get ideas that I would never do if I was doing other things.
Yeah, I totally relate to that. The best ideas come when you're out of the routine and sometimes on holiday, sometimes, at a conference. One more, Al, to finish this section. What's the best investment you've ever made? Maybe something in yourself or something financial, course, book.
Um, Investing the time to write my book. For me, that was something that knew would pay off in spades, and it has done. I mean, I wouldn't be on this program if I didn't have the book available.
Right.
It took a year out of my time to do it, but for me, it was worthwhile because it's just setting me up as a thought leader. So if you want to be that thought leader, you have to take the time and dedicate energy towards creating something. In my example, creating a book was something that was an accomplishment, and that was a good thing.
Al, where's the best place for my audience to connect with you? Is it LinkedIn? Is it a website? And any final takeaway for the audience from this
Well,
episode?
certainly LinkedIn. My website is linkedvantage.com. They can go ahead and they can get some free ebooks available on optimizing your profile. You can check it out. My book is available on Amazon as well as the fine retailers. You can also get the audiobook on Spotify as well. So you can get the pre-orders. I think July 4th is the release date. So just a couple of things to share with your audience. They can check it out there.
Great. We'll get those links in the show notes, linkedvantage.com. And any final takeaway, Al, if there's one sort of message that you would like to drum home on AI and LinkedIn for direct client lead generation, what would it be?
I would say that before you do any outreach, optimize your profile. You really need to do something on LinkedIn. A lot of people are jumping the gun and trying to do outreach and trying to make connections. And you just want to take time. You got to get your house in order. If your profile is not optimized, if you don't have a professional image, it's going to really not be in your best interest to do any kind of outreach until you get that resolved. And that's something that I work with a lot of clients to make sure that the right keywords in there, the right recommendations are important. Because in fact, that's even essential in any type of outreach is third-party endorsements. Once you have that and get as many as you can, that will help you to move forward in your search for connecting with clients and making a lot of money with LinkedIn.
Thank you so much for your time. All right, let's wrap it up for today's episode of Freelancer Training on how to find more direct clients. Stay tuned for more engaging discussions on the ever-evolving landscape of digital marketing and language. Until next time, remember what I always say, stay on your game and future-proof your career in the AI era. Thank you very much to my special guest today, Al Kushner.
Here's a fun fact about Jason. Jason was a professional chorister in a symphonic choir in Spain for a few seasons. A chorister you can think of like a lyrical baritone. Thanks for tuning in to the How to Find More Direct Clients Than You Can Poke a Stick At podcast. We'll be back soon. In the meantime, why not head over to www.entrepreneurialtranslator.com to access all our tools and resources to monetize and future-proof your freelance translation business. And don't forget to hit the plus button in Apple Podcasts or iTunes, or subscribe in Spotify to be notified when new episodes drop. For regular tips and insights, business strategy, or marketing techniques straight to your inbox, please sign up at www.entrepreneurialtranslator.com.